So that's enough for that. I saw CB say reports there. Matthew Golden's going to visit Texas. Yeah, I did want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna put out a report after we get off air. I had a pretty busy morning, and I'm not gonna try to type while doing a show. Um, but I can confirm he is visiting Texas. I reported yesterday he had a visit set up for Louisville this weekend, and that Louisville is making a very aggressive push. They were really impressive NIL program. And Matthew Golden actually does have a lot of connections to Louisville program in his circle. Can't really explain them specifically, but does have a lot of connections to the program. Texas, the staff was in the area yesterday. They're making in-home visits, school visits, stopping by, and seeing high school players, commits, targets. Whenever they do these and they're in the area, they also try to stop by and see transfer portal targets, which is what they did. Um, they had a handful of offensive staffers go in and meet with Golden in his circle in Houston yesterday, and not visiting Louisville anymore this weekend, and he'll actually be on campus today.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was told by my source, and again, I'm gonna put in a crystal ball with the story I'm gonna put out after I get off air. Um, but fully expecting him to end up at Texas now. I wrote that I was expecting him, but just the Louisville visit was something I was watching. Now that that's off the table, I mean, y'all have seen where it was going. The picks were entered in right after he entered. So, yeah, Texas. I think we're on commit watch right now. I know I am. I was told that maybe something could happen as soon as today, but also not to be surprised if it doesn't happen today. I did ask the source, and again, I've been reporting on Matthew Gold. I just want to say right now, I've been reporting on Matthew Gold and Jamar Caldwell for like almost 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and everyone else is acting like this is new in like the last 3 days. But
You've been all
Golden,
dude, you've been all I'll vouch for you. Like, I'm a subscriber on
I
Horns 24/7. Like, I've been
I
seeing this
appreciate
shit,
it.
like, well before Golden actually hit the portal. It was like, "Watch out for this kid. Watch out for this kid. Texas, like, it could happen." So, no, you've been all over that deal. There's no doubt.
Hey, I appreciate it. But I had a pretty good source on Golden, and yeah, looking like Texas. Asked him how long the visit could be. He says he doesn't know. The source did, but he's showing up on campus today. Um, there was a bit. I reported yesterday there was a visitor that was going to be on campus today as well. That we were asked by sources at Texas not to report. That was not Matthew Golden. I've not seen it get reported yet. I did check back in with the source that asked me to hold on to it this morning, and they said they might actually be canceling that visit for today. Texas will, but that they're not sure yet. And they still asked me to keep holding on to it. So until I get the green light, can't really talk about it. But with the different moving parts right now, I don't think that visit will happen for that guy. And once it's fully canceled, I think I'll get the green light to post it. Another guy I want to talk about is Jamar Caldwell. He's also at Houston. Another thing too, going back to when I first started reporting on Caldwell and Golden. On Golden, I had mentioned that a big part of it was going to be Da'Keil Shorts, who's the Houston wide receivers coach. If he's retained, if he's brought back, what's going on there? Da'Keil Shorts is in communication with he isn't originally. He wasn't being retained. Tulane or the Tulane wide receivers coach had come over with the Houston staff, and about 2 days ago reported that he actually wouldn't be the wide receiver hire. I was told that there is some interest in Shorts potentially coming back. He also is in communication with a few SEC programs, a few Big Ten programs, and he's a really damn good coach. Like he really is. He's the guy that stole Jonah Wilson from Texas, Matthew Golden from Texas originally. Also got Mikael Harrison Pilot last cycle, who's like the third highest rated kid Houston's ever signed. Like he can recruit his ass off. He also got Stephon Johnson in the portal, who was one of the better freshman portal receivers last year. He was at Oklahoma State last year. Like he can coach his ass off and he can recruit. Houston does have some money for NIL, but if he got SEC backing, SEC funding, he'd be kind of unstoppable. So I reported if Shorts is brought back, that will affect it with Golden. Golden and Shorts are very close. Now it looks like he could be coming back. I asked how would that affect it with Golden. The source told me things have been soured too much, and he's not going back to Houston no matter what. When reporting on that, I also reported that it was a similar situation with Jamari Caldwell and his position coach, which is the Houston D-line coach named James Ely, I believe. It might be John Ely, I'm not sure. Whenever the Tulane assistant staff hires were announced a few days ago, it was also announced they would be bringing over the defensive line coach from Tulane. This morning, 24/7's Matt Zenitz reported that the Tulane D-line coach is actually not going to be a part of the Tulane staff, and that Brian Ely, or Brian, that's what his first name
There it
is actually going to be retained by Houston. I was told that his closest shorts in Golden were Caldwell and his guy were closer, so to expect Caldwell to come back. I have seen it online. I'm not sure who reported it originally, so I'm sorry if I can't give credit, but I have seen on Twitter that apparently Jamari Caldwell's academic credits won't transfer to Texas. He's originally from South Carolina and then did 2 years of JUCO. This is second year at UH this past season. He's 1 year left to eligibility. I asked my source for Caldwell, hey, I saw something online about credits. What all do you know here? And he was like, hey, I mean, I don't think it'll matter because Ely's coming back. So, yeah.
So that dream has maybe died for Texas fans. I mean, Caldwell put up good numbers this year. I think 6.5 sacks, 2 of them against Texas as a DT.
Yep.
Like that's pretty damn good. And obviously Tavondre Sweat's gone and Byron Murphy's probably gone as well. So look, maybe Alfred Collins comes back, Vernon Broughton's coming back. You've got some guys who will stay here in that interior D-line group. But getting a guy who's got some skins on the wall like Caldwell would have been huge. So that's a bummer. That is a bummer that he might be standing pat down at Houston.
Yeah.
Anybody like, I guess, any D tackles to look at, like where obviously wide receivers are a point of emphasis for Texas. You guys have talked about Makuba at safety a lot, Trey Moore at edge. I think you crystal balled him to Texas a couple of days ago, if memory serves, but anybody else, I'll give you the floor, I guess, but any other names or position groups that you think Texas and the staff is really focusing on right now in the portal?
Yeah, I'll hit on Trey Moore real quick. I do have a crystal ball prediction in for Texas, and as things currently stand, I still think that's likely going to be the landing spot. Bobby Burton of I'm not who of On Texas Football, I guess. I'm not sure if he's affiliated with what side anymore. I guess I'll just say On Texas Football. Reported this morning that Trey Moore, who visited Texas last weekend, is actually going to be visiting Alabama this weekend. It was originally scheduled for Ohio State. Also potentially looking at Ole Miss. I have a fairly decent source for Trey Moore, but he's been on a plane for like the last 4 hours. So I haven't been able to check there. But yeah, so I should have something on Trey Moore later today. I guess whether confirming or maybe my source will say something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, still feel the same way kind of about Texas. He's Smithson Valley kid. He grew up wanting to go to Texas, grew up cheering for Texas, and that's his dream school. But it's hard whenever Alabama or Ohio State, Ole Miss, are coming with the, we have interest in you, we want you, woo to woo, whatever. Also impressive NIL deals. I did actually ask my source how important he thinks NIL will be. And he was like, it's always going to be important, but his family is doing pretty well. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really at the front of their mind here. Which, covering Texas, they have the money to compete with literally anyone in America, if not more money than anyone in America. So I'm not really worried there, but, it is part of the story. So, I'll comment on it.
Yeah.
In terms of rest of the portal, I'm not gonna lie, the defensive line group haven't been super impressed with it, but I mean that's kind of just how it works. Like edges and like a good edge or great edges, great tight ends, great interior D linemen. They don't really exist in the portal. Like they're very rare. Trey Moore is one of them, but they're very rare. So